G'day, welcome back to my channel. So in this one, we're going to go ahead and get started on the SU-25 frog put build in 148. I could waffle on about it, but I'm going to waffle quite a bit while I'm actually going through it. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, we're going to get started in on this. Done bits of this. So I'm going to start with doing the tub. Where is it? Here it is. So now what I've done is I have used a light blue paint that is not going to match. Right, so it's going to be off, but I'm gonna not care. I'm gonna let that be off, and I may go back and touch it up with a little bit of other white, but I think I'm gonna let this go with that. For what I'm after, I think this will work, at least to my eyes, since I'm no expert, but we're gonna go ahead and give it a try. I have not worked with these before, so we're gonna give it a shot. So let's try it. All right, so what I understand is these don't have their own adhesive like other transfers. So using just a small thin layer of this Wolverine PVA glue. Now this is the same stuff I use for scenic work. So if I'm put down a diluted form of this for grass or other scenic work, but this is really heavy non-dilute PVA, so I just put a little bit down, and that's what makes it adhere. So I'm going to go ahead and work my way around on these, and we'll see how they go.
So doing these is actually not difficult at all. The instructions are actually fairly easy to follow. The important part is that you've prepared the piece that they're going onto and made sure that the surface is flat. These are not decals. These are printed onto a surface. Essentially, you have a flat, they're parts, really. And they're just stuck on this paper. So I put down the adhesive. It's basically that thick PVA. Put it in water for, I think I was in water for like 15 seconds. Normally my decal water is on a heater. I don't even need to do that. I just needed to soften it up so it would come off. And then I put it just touched it on a paper towel so that it was dry a little bit, because otherwise it's just going to make the PVA watered down. But then put it in place, press it into place, and there you go. It really is just that hard. And I do struggle kind of keeping everything in camera, but you can kind of see, just lay out that little bit of PVA, and you can use CA, and I did for a couple of pieces. I did end up using CA just because it was better for the location, but for the most part PVA is just fine. Put it down, let it dry, and walk away. Put it down, walk away, let it dry, and that's just fine. This is what I actually use CA for this one.
All right, as I'm working my way through this, actually I'm kind of liking how it looks. Again, are the colors exactly right? Probably not, but we're getting there. Yeah, do have some more detailing to finish to get the rest of this done up, but this is where we are so far. I'm sort of kind of liking how that works out, for the cost of that upgrade, which really wasn't that much. Really does kind of add a good bit to the cockpit, so I like it. I'll go ahead and keep on keeping on. Let's see what else I can get knocked out here.
So the next step's really we're putting the fuselage together. Once you have the cockpit done, you put it on this plate, and then you faff around a bit to get the landing gear on. Now, the landing gear is a little bit fiddly. Okay, it's a lot fiddly. Take your time, be patient, but it's worth it. It does look nice. It does go together well. You just have to be patient with putting it in place. I ended up using just a touch of CA glue. And this is what everything looks like when it's all put together.
Overall, do this here. So, I'm liking how that looks. Now, one thing I do notice, right, is this edge here. It is like white. You can see the base that the transfer is on. So I'm going to go back and do touch-ups. There is touch-ups that are going to be needed, but I can go back and do those. Just haven't done them yet. But I think overall, for the minimal expense, that really came out well. I'm actually really impressed with that. Again, I am choosing not to use the pilot. The pilot actually looks kind of nice. The detail on the pilot. So, Becker, if you're watching, that probably would look pretty good for you. But for me, again, I'm going wheels down, parked, so it can sit. So when I went, and I finally got that done, and I faffed around with that for quite a bit. I also fiddled around getting it so that the pieces for the sides here were right. I still need to do the ones that go on the canopy themselves. These pieces right here, now these are interesting. So these go on either side of the stick. They do stick out long. They were really fiddly to mess with, but they're there. Yeah, something I saw I did get the SU-25 book, and I got this because I was looking for different reference photos on camo schemes, but where there was a good picture of the seat/cockpit thing. Let me find it, and there it is. So this guy right there. See right here, these are on either side of the stick here, and that's one of the newer ones. But there was also another one from an older one. That's essentially where they go. They go out around the stick. And it kind of is doing that in there. You can't really see it here, but they're there. So that was nice. Then the underside, the undercarriage is looking to be mostly white and very light gray. So I am using a very, very light gray on this. And then the landing gear bays, and I'm going to be looking at the book to see more what that's supposed to be, and I'll make sure that that's done there according to that, which is again the reason I got it, is I couldn't get good pictures of it. So now onto this part. So the one thing I did want to make a point to call out, so these pieces right here, don't overlook them. These right here, that, come on, focus, thank you. There are those right there, and they go on each side. So you have to, so they're one on each part of the fuselage, one there, one there. I would have overlooked it. This is a piece that goes on the side of the, up inside the fuselage. Since I used the upgrade kit, I didn't use that. I used the piece that goes there. These two pieces, yeah, that pretty much makes sense. Again, same here. This piece, I went ahead and used the upgrade piece. The fuselage goes together a treat. I've hit it with a sanding set once. I've got to go back and do it again. But the seam down the center, it actually goes together. Now I started in the front. Oh, we're also supposed to put weight in the front. It says 40 gram. This is what I chose to do. Right, there's plenty of room. That's what I have in there. It's glued in with super glue and green stuff. There we go. And it's just lead weight. That's all it is. But that should hold it in. I was curious if there was anything that was supposed to go here, any sort of avionics or whatever. Nope, it's just a cover. So there's plenty of room up in the front for that nose weight. So do that. And so I made a point to do that. But again, the whole thing goes together very, very well. Normally the top seam of an aircraft is a royal pain, but this just clicked in very well. So I'm really impressed with it. So, you know, good on this Zvezda for there. So now I'm going to move on to these next steps and see what more we've got to do. So this is taking my time. I'm not rushing. So I'm going to be slowly working my way through it. All right. On to the next steps. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and end this video here. We're about 10 minutes in, and I know that I could waffle on for like hours and hours, but this is a good stopping point for this episode. So far, this is an entertaining kit to build. As you can see, where I've gone so far. Please, if anybody has any suggestions, hints, whatever, please feel free to put them down in the chat below. I always read them. I just ask, please, keep them respectful. Hey, hope this was useful and entertaining. And until next time, happy modeling.